Hey guys, it's that time of week again. It's real estate roundup. Boy, do we have a week for you. This is something else. Big news is, so the pricing is up. We'll go into that in a minute. The inventory shortage is at 35%. Okay, I did not expect that big of an increase, but we did have a massive increase this time in the inventory shortage. We were only at 6% last month. We're up to 35%. That means there are way more buyers than sellers. We felt it in as much as all the applications were going up and the real estate activity, but we didn't realize it was that severe. And number 3, the days on the market is down. All right, let's have a look at what's going on in Lakeland and Central Florida over the last 7 days. The average home sold was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and that stayed the same. The big change was the square footage. Last week it was only $1,698 on average. This week it skyrocketed 253 square feet to an average of 1,951 square feet. That's why the pricing looks so dramatic this week. It's got a huge increase in the size of the homes. So that makes a huge difference. So the average list price went up $69,000 to $399,000 this week. Again, that is a function of that size average increase. The average sold price was $386,000, and that was up from $319,000 last week. The days on the market did go down. We always happen to see that. It was 79 days last week, 70 this week. The sales price compared to list price has seen its lowest number for a while, 95%. That's pretty low. We've been at 97 and 98% for several months. If you go back to the archive of the videos, you'll see that it's generally at 97, 98. So 95% on average for all those closings. That's a pretty big number. So we will definitely monitor that. So that's a bit of a dichotomy. We have more buyers than sellers. That number should not be that low. Okay, we look at the average list price per square foot. That also went up by 6 to $198 per square foot, and the average sold price per square foot went up by 5 to $191. So you take into account the large increase in average square footage and the increased price per square foot. That's why those price increases were so large this week. Listing activity in general, let's have a look at that. We had 90 new listings, up from 86. We had 40 sold listings. That was 44 last week, so it went down slightly. New pendings went up to 93, which is great. Remember that 100 number? That's the golden number. So we're getting very close. However, this week we put less houses on the market than we took off the market, so that contributes to the shrink. In Polk County, we had 371 new listings. That was down 13. 163 new solds. That was down 17. And 349 new pendings, which is up 25. And again, that golden number for the county is 400. So we had 106% replenishment ratio in the county, put slightly more on the market than we removed. Canceled, withdrawn, and expired listings. They actually had 19 such units this week, and that's down from 23. That again is a decrease in the amount of people who are canceling their listings. It is kind of mid-month. So at the end of the month, that number should shift a little bit. Now here's the big number. Last month we had 5.62 months of supply. This month it went down to 3.89. Wow, that's a huge jump in supply numbers downwards. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I will tell you that we just got the numbers this week for December. So if January continues the way it's going, I'll be really interested to see if we have another decrease in inventory supply, because that really does make a difference. So we're solidly in the seller's market column. Active listings went down by 2, so that's pretty flat, 1,076. Listings that had a price drop in Lakeland was only 118, and the 30-year mortgage rate went from 6.07 to 6.19. All right, guys, all of this is to say is the real estate market is very active. If you've been on the fence for any amount of time, it's a good time to jump in. If you're looking for long-term solutions, then this is it. This is not come and go. It's like, hey, get something that works for you and stay put. All right, guys, talk to you soon. See you.